Hello again. First off, let me just say thank you for taking the time to watch this. I really just want to help people, but I really do appreciate your time in watching this. So, on to what I'm going to talk about. I get asked a lot, how did you get into being an apartment manager, or what does it take to be an apartment manager? Before I had done this job, I had various experience in sales and office skills. I had worked for a tuxedo shop where they trained us on certain sales skills, so that I already had those. And then part of working in a tuxedo shop is we rented things, so I was a little bit familiar with the rental process, even though it's completely different altogether. Not as much paperwork specifically. So, anyways, um, when I interviewed for the job, I think having no experience in the field, just having good interview skills is how I got the job. Being professional, showing up on time, following up. You really need to have good follow up skills and good organizational skills if you're going to succeed in this industry. So, after my interview, I called them the next week and they still hadn't decided. So I called them the next week and, hey, we're going to hire you, and eventually they did tell me it was those follow up skills why we hired you. So that's how I got into this industry. Basically, as just someone showing units that needed to be rented. I'm horrible at talking lately. Uh, and then also answering their questions and processing applications. All that stuff is really easy. It took someone 5 minutes to show it to me. So none of that stuff is hard. I don't need a degree for this job, although this job is super flexible. Right now, I work pretty much part-time. I work about 34 hours a week doing this job. I also go to school part-time and I have a 2-year-old, so this job is super flexible for moms, for students. I wouldn't recommend it as the main source of income. If you're a couple or something, it's perfect, but you don't need to have a college education. I manage a small property all by myself, so the only person I work with is my maintenance guy. And for my property, I've had other people, I've seen that they have 2 people working a property this size. But luckily, I have really easy tenants here, and I'm able to do it by myself, which is nice. So you really just need to have follow-up skills. Once I was done doing the leasing part of the community I was working for, the manager there was amazing. It was when I was pregnant with my daughter. I was about to go on maternity leave, and we sat down and we're talking. I used to drill this lady's brain, okay? So I welcome you guys. If you have any questions about anything, ask me. I have done so much stuff. Am I an expert? No, I am not an expert. I'm not an expert. All I could do is tell you things that work for me and hope that it'll help you. But as I was about to go on maternity leave, this lady said, "You know what, Sarah? I'm not letting you come back." And I was a little offended at first. I didn't know what she was talking about. And then she said, "It's time for you to get your own property." I was kind of thrown in feet first, but luckily I had an amazing supervisor. And, I could have called him at midnight having a panic attack, which I never did. But, he would have been there and walked me through it. He was great. So all you really need is being able to be organized, having good follow up skills, and good customer service skills. Sometimes there is no making people happy. You can't take it personal. It's going to ruin your day. You're going to hate your job. All right. So if you need to know more, ask.